This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. This is a sponsored message. Recently, I started using Anchor as my podcast host. Anchor offers benefits that most other hosts do not. It's free to use, but it also has a collection of tools that allow you to create a podcast completely within the Anchor website or smartphone app. They distribute your show to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other distribution channels without any additional effort on your part. And you can make money from your podcast without any minimum audience size. So you can use it as a more traditional podcast host like I do, but it's also got everything you need to start a podcast from scratch in one place. If you're keen to give it a shot, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's Monday, March 21st, 2022. Let's talk about the news. From the Wall Street Journal, Russia-Ukraine War Summary. Russian missiles have reportedly hit the western Ukrainian city of Lviv, which until now has served as a safe haven for fleeing citizens. Two-time Olympic champion and American WNBA athlete Brittany Griner has had her detention in Russia extended to mid-May after being accused of having vape cartridges with cannabis oil residue on them in her bag. Switzerland's Financial Industry Association estimates that the country's banks hold up to $213 billion in Russian wealth, which could be held or blocked by sanctions. The European Space Agency has suspended a planned Mars mission with Russia. Russian ships have been blocking grain exports in the Black Sea, which is the source of one of the key global trade routes for grain. U.S. President Biden and Chinese President Xi had a call during which they discussed the invasion, and Russian President Putin put on a pro-invasion event back home in an attempt to rally citizens around the effort. Outside the war zone, orders for American-made drones and missiles are skyrocketing, both in Europe and elsewhere, and there are reports that Putin has been arresting and detaining some of his spy bosses due to their failure to provide accurate information that might have allowed him to either launch a more successful invasion or potentially not have launched it at all. From Reuters, Amazon closes deal to buy MGM movie studio. Last week, Amazon got regulatory approval to complete a deal to buy MGM, the movie studio behind James Bond, Rocky, and other well-known film properties. This purchase wasn't a sure thing, as regulators have not allowed similar purchases to go through in the past, but it was decided that Amazon has sufficient opposition in the streaming video space, so their acquiring a catalog of this kind won't substantially reduce competition in the market. The final purchase price was about $8.5 billion, and that nets them about 4,000 films to add to their Amazon Prime Video streaming service, alongside all the talent that has been working at MGM, which Amazon said they wouldn't be downsizing. And from Bloomberg, Germany backs EU phase-out of new combustion engines by 2035. Germany has come out in support of an EU proposal that would only allow emissions-free cars and vans to be sold in the Union from 2035 onward, though some member states, like the Netherlands and Belgium, are keen to see that phase-out pushed forward to 2030. Germany's support is important on this issue as they're diplomatically and industrially powerful, so they have a fair amount of sway and say when it comes to how issues related to the auto industry tilt. And they previously were not in support of a hard limitation on this matter. So this pivot on their part is being seen as a big deal, even if this proposal hasn't yet been passed, and there could be more debate about moving things forward in order to support the bloc's aim of cutting greenhouse gases by at least 55% by 2030. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com, and you can support this and other related projects like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts at understandery.com.